Welcome back to Let's Play White 11 Skewered. Bit shit that we got hit by that ghost in the previous part there, isn't it? You know, let's wipe off that blood, shall we, with a good old instant lunchbox out, of course. Every single time. That's why I'd rather encounter all the ghosts on hard mode rather than hell mode, because on hell mode, as I've said before, you will, like, every time you die will take away one of the pens. And every time you stop playing the game as well, will take away a pen as well. If you run out of pens, game over, you have to do it all again. Because you can't manually save in hell mode. And it automatically deletes the save once you've either ran out of pens or have gotten an ending. Which means, if you want to get all the endings on hell mode, you have to do it one at a time rather than on any other mode where you can kind of like do 2 or 3 in one playthrough. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. I've actually got all the endings but 2 of them on hell mode, which are just the extra character essentially. Pretty much got all the other ones though. And the last of the pins. This is the room that we'll have. You know, on hell mode there's actually, you can interact with one of these. So wait, you can actually even here. Where is it? But there's gonna be nothing in there. There will be something in there on hell mode though. This right here. Oh wait, we don't even have... Oh, never mind. Forget this room for now, actually. Let's go back downstairs. Just like, oh, you were building that up. It's like, that's gonna be the puzzle room, but then it's like, we haven't even picked up everything yet. We haven't even got the bloody paper that points out what the puzzle actually is. Oh, look at that. You see that shit? I hope so, anyway, because on the part where she appeared, couldn't even see her on the ceiling on the playback of the video, because how bloody dark it was when it converted to MP4. It's like you gotta do all that in the specific order to despawn her. Otherwise she'll just be there the whole time. What room is this? 9. Is there anything I overlooked in here? Because I kind of half-assedly went through these rooms, really. So I can't really remember what rooms I've been in and what rooms I haven't. Let's see here. Close. Probably. Oh yeah, I see something like that. Ah, here's the one. A girl's dream. Hey, a young Jew. You know, I want to travel around the world after I graduate. I want to unshackle myself and taste the big free world. Wouldn't it be great if you could join me in this venture? I've marked countries that I want to travel to at the place we used to study together. You know, it's just like, I want to unshackle myself and taste the big free world. You know, the world's not free though. The cost of travel is going to cost you a bloody fortune. I don't think you can figure them all out, right? Let me give you some hints. The first country is where a king used to be worshipped as a god. You can find triangular palaces that were built for the dead king. That one's obviously Egypt. Second country is one born from silver. This nation stands on the opposite side of Asia, and they will never cry for me. I'm pretty sure that's Argentina. I think. Pretty sure. Third country is a nation of maple trees. This land is near the North Pole. Canada, obviously. The people of the fourth country live on the land below the sea levels and are famous for paying separately. I think that's the Netherlands. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Last country is on the smallest continent of the world. People tend to confuse this place's name with another. That's Australia. You don't actually have to look at them in order like this, like, or anything. the 5 pins we got, and each pin is for each of these countries. You don't have to actually do them in order, and even though it's like has a puzzle element to it with all this, it doesn't really matter all that much, because when we interact with the globe, it will literally just highlight the spots we can put pins in anyway, which kind of makes it feel a bit redundant, you know? But yeah, that's that one. That's how that puzzle works. Of course, if you have no idea about the geography of the world, it might take you a while to figure out where some of them might be. Well, actually, would that even be the case? I don't know. I mean, some people maybe, I don't know. This is when we gotta have the lights on. I mean, I'm putting the lights on in all of them, but I'm deliberately keeping the doors closed on the ones that require the lights to stay on. Thought I saw something. Well, I might as well get another replacement for the soy milk again. I think there's still maybe some more hostile ghosts that do damage. Should be a pain in the ass. I think there's... well, actually that's 4. I think there might be 5, or maybe there is only 4. I can't remember. That comes into play in main building 1. If you remember, we saw that girl who was like at the board, and she was just kind of went in off it, and she was like, "My eyes." It's pretty much related to that. This janitor's gonna have the time of his life turning off all these lights. I don't think there's anything in this room though. He's inevitably gonna turn off some of these lights and I have to do the whole bloody puzzle thing all over again, but whatever. I'm not sure if I've missed anything on the... should I? That's great. Just to be on the safe side in case I overlook something on the...
Sweetie, where are you? You can't leave this place forever.
Yeah, that was something that happened. Her ghost story for her. We haven't actually got it yet, obviously. But it's definitely one of the more creepier ones. Her appearance was just like... kind of catch you off guard a bit. And the annoying thing is, if you run from the janitor and you run past her, especially on hell mode where her appearance is more frequent. This is why I was running back and forth here in the previous part, by the way, was to try to get her to spawn. But there's been at least one occasion where I've run through here from the janitor and she pops up and she literally makes it so you can't move until she lets you, essentially. And I think it kind of glitched out one time where she didn't actually spawn, so I was literally stuck on the spot. So that's of all the ghosts, her and the one that keeps popping up, you know, the head ghost, are the only 2 ghosts I can think of in the game that will, you know, actually be a threat of any sort, because they can actually slow you down a bit, you know, and screw you over if the janitor is chasing you. Might as well pick this back up. So, Have a look in the rooms. Does look like I probably got everything though. I assume. Oh, I haven't. Pen. Give you plenty of pens, really. It's kind of like Resident Evil, I guess, with the ink ribbons. It's room 5, right? So that's the door that we want to have closed. Ah, yeah, this room's different. This is relevant to our puzzle. You gotta memorize this pattern. But the puzzle's not actually in this room, which makes it extra confusing. Paper crane. And these paper cranes that we've been collecting are to do with that very puzzle in question. Please don't be a note. There's the last of the math schedule. Thank God it wasn't a freaking piece of paper, because too much reading, man. Takes time. And I have this compulsion to read everything, you know. Pretty sure we yeah, that's still on over there. But just to be thorough, check the room next to it. This room, I've got everything right. Yeah. What about this room? Turn on every single light. Yeah, I knew it. Oh no, it's another document. Physics class notes vibrations and resonances. Objects change when energy is applied, and when that energy is gone, the objects return to their original state. This property of returning to the original state is called elasticity. When the energy that was being applied to an elastic object is gone, the object vibrates at the equilibrium point. Each object has its own frequency. This frequency is called the natural frequency. Forced vibration is when an object is forced to vibrate at the same frequency of the energy that's being applied to it. When the forced vibration and natural vibration are the same, this amplitude increases, and this is what's known as resonance. Amplitude increases from resonance, meaning that the energy is being efficiently transferred. It's the result of energy being equal to resonance squared. Examples of energy amplified by resonance can be found in many places. For example, in 1914, the Tacoma Bridge of Washington State in the U.S. collapsed due to a small gust of wind. Only after 4 months of being completed, this happened because the wind resonated with the natural frequency of the bridge, increasing the amplitude. Another example is when a singer's voice is able to shatter a glass by reaching a certain pitch. This is possible because the frequency of the singer's voice resonated with the natural frequencies of the glass cup. Just imagine using your voice to shatter glass or mirrors. I can't even... I think it has to do with something. Like a specific point in the game, but at the same time, I'm not really sure. I might be like thinking of the wrong thing. But whatever. My God, we're already 14 minutes in. Feel like I've done jack shit because, well, all this backtracking around and all that. We will be making progress when we, get past the puzzle, though. Of course, there's a ghost story, which is the prize from solving the puzzle, so we gotta read that as well. So it'll be a little while, but progress will be around the corner somewhere. Globe. Right, let's do it in order, even though we don't really need to. So, Egypt. What was the second country? I think the second country was Argentina, wasn't it? I mean, if like the silver thing didn't ring any bells or anything like that, just like, yeah, that's Argentina, right? The "don't cry for me" line at the end gives it away completely, Third country, I think, was Canada. Fourth country, or maybe it was the country before it, but I think it's the Netherlands right here. And Last country. Oh, wait. Yeah, we can rotate it. Is Australia. Of course, it defaults back to Asia because it's Korean. 16. Ghost Story. Tragedy brought by jealousy. Eunju and Young-hee were best friends, being friends since childhood. They had no secrets between them. They've spent so much time together that they could almost read each other's minds. When they entered high school, Eunju developed a crush on a guy a year older than her. Eunju would always prattle on and on about him to Young-hee. Strangely, Young-hee's reaction to her close friend's biggest interest in life was rather icy. She would only wish her a curt good luck, then be silent until a new subject arose. One day, Eunju heard from another friend that the guy she liked had feelings for Young-hee instead. Turns out that Young-hee and the boy went to the same church. Eunju wondered why Young-hee had never mentioned that. It was weird. From that point on, Eunju was suspicious of every single thing Young-hee said or did. Soon they grew so far apart that they wouldn't even say hello to each other. You know what? I'm getting the names mixed up, I feel. Who's dating who here again? Eunju developed a crush. Eunju would always prattle on and on. So Eunju has a crush on the guy, but they're not seeing. Are they not in a relationship? Prattle on and on and on. But the guy liked Young-hee instead. Okay. Gotcha. Sometimes after, Eunju found Young-hee and the boy sitting on a bench, silently talking. Well, innocently talking. You can't be silently talking. Envy filled her eyes. The evening, Eunju called Young-hee to the school's rooftop. They began to argue, but Young-hee kept on denying Eunju's accusations. The arguing got louder and more heated, and out of anger, Eunju pushed Young-hee off the rooftop. Young-hee fell down head first and died instantly without a sound. Eunju gave a false statement to the police, and Young-hee's death was reported as suicide. For some time past, Eunju was able to go out with her crush. One day she made plans with her boyfriend to go on a date at school. She thought it would be a great idea to meet up in the middle of the night. That way they could stay out of the heat, and it seemed adventurous. Eunju arrived at the school first and was waiting in the empty classroom. When her boyfriend didn't show up after the promised time, she began to get scared. Suddenly, thunk, thunk, thunk. She heard something echoing from the hallway. Then she could hear a door opening. Not here. It wasn't her boyfriend's voice. It was the raspy voice of a woman that sent shivers down her spine. Thunk, thunk, thunk. The noise was getting louder and closer, until it was shaking the ground with every thunk. Eunju heard another door open. Not here either. Thunk, 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 thunk. The thunking was getting close to her now, terrified. Eunju dove under the teacher's desk to hide. She was quaking in fear. The door to the classroom flew open. Eunju peeked at the door through a crack under the desk. There was nothing to be seen. It's when Eunju thought something must be wrong. An object fell from the desk, and Eunju's eyes flew up to see what knocked it down. There you are! Eunju screamed so loud that her voice echoed throughout the whole school. We haven't actually encountered that ghost, but I could have encountered it ages ago. But I'll encounter it inevitably when I return to Maiden Building 1. So, yeah. That's something. That was a ghost story. Oh my god, we're nearly 20 minutes in already. Now this is the point where things are gonna become tricky. They're gonna be a pain in the ass, in fact. It's just like, oh, now you're being cautious. Does that mean that janitor is gonna return? Well, yeah, remember the whole, cutscenes despawn him? Well, the one that, is on the lower floor despawns him entirely, but normal cutscenes just despawn him where he respawns at a different location, or close by but hasn't spotted you just yet, kind of thing. And essentially, there's going to be a few, you'll see what I mean. because like there's this thing right here, library rules plaque. I see a laminated plaque on the bookshelf, but it's too high. I can't reach it. I'm too short. I mean, you could just jump and freaking get it, but no. So we gotta turn this freaking thing on, right? And that triggers a cutscene of sorts, and the janitor will respawn, and it's gonna suck ass. So let's do this. The air conditioner isn't running. I think this. Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta put the bloody power on first. Whoopsie daisy. This thing's a pain in the ass because it's relevant to something later on where the game doesn't give you any real clue of it. Well, it kind of does, but at the same time, it's kind of really subtle and easy to miss. So it's a pain in the ass and can get you screwed over if you're not careful. Where is she? Always popping up to be like, so she's essentially Waluigi if you sounded anything like that. Imagine being stalked by Ghost Waluigi. See, simple cutscene, right? But this respawns the bloody janitor. It's annoying. But the game is supposed to be a horror game, so can't just despawn the janitor all the time. I mean, this is like, after all this, we'll pretty much like won't have that whole trick to rely on for very long. So the janitor will be here to stay, you know. Library rules plaque, the rules for the library. Its laminated coating makes it ideal for shoving between gaps. We literally need it just to get into this room here. And locked it.
I'm just so tired of this. I'm terrified. I just don't understand why all this happened. We'll never get out of here. We're all going to die.
Don't say that, have some faith. I promise I'll find a way out.
Do you really think you can? Just stay back! Don't come near me. Just, oh, please leave me alone. Everyone's acting so strange tonight, like they've all lost their minds. When I was walking with So-young earlier, Sung-ha came up to us. But So-young just ignored Sung-ha and kept walking. Sung-ha got angry and started following So-young and yelling. I got so scared. Usually, Sung-ha and So-young spend a lot of time off together. And when Sung-ha talks, So-young usually just listens to her. I've never seen them fight like they did earlier. I've never seen them act like that before. I feel like something really bad's about to happen. I think that it was one of them who locked us in here. Maybe.
Ji-hyeon disappeared. You know, if you happen to be on So-young's route, you encounter her here, and she literally stays here in the spot, which is hilarious because the janitor can still chase you in here, and he'll completely ignore her and keep going for you. Just thought I'd randomly point that out. Let's take this document here. Investigation on the yin-yang token 2. Well, investigation is needed to confirm what actually happened, but I was locked in the dark due to the power outage in the music appreciation room. When I started to lose my sense of direction and began to feel a sort of chill, I observed a bright light emitting from the bag with the yin-yang token on it. And the music appreciation room is the place where I keep going to get the janitor despawned by having that girl pretty much destroy me, pretty much, so that You die, but then it reloads and the janitor isn't there. So this token is going to be relevant to that, which will mean we won't be able to use that despawning point after we've resolved it. I might have been seeing things from focusing too hard on the investigation, but it was nonetheless a magical experience. Let's take the yin-yang token, a wooden token that has the yin-yang symbol on it. It gives off a lucky vibe. No, we gotta go downstairs. It's gonna suck because the janitor's here now. And we're 25 minutes in and I gotta freaking get to a save point. Yeah, there's not much progress here. The janitor, man, he does not know when to fuck off. I think he's directly outside. Yeah, he's directly out there. This is what happens, man. Every single time I've played this game and come to this point, he always respawns right outside the bloody room and makes everything a pain in the ass. And you know the worst thing is if you pull out your lighter like this in any room when the janitor's passing through on hell mode, he will spot you. It's like when a game tells you can use this to light up the place without being detected, it only applies to every mode but hell mode, because on hell mode, he will freaking spot you if you're using the lighter. Even if there's a wall between the two of you. It's ridiculous. I mean, it kind of would make sense if he could see the lights, I guess. But it only applies to hell mode. Shit, he's gonna spot me, isn't he? Yep. Later. Oh, fuck. Here comes the man with his shit. Let's see if I get screwed here. Nope. But you see what I mean? If you're being chased by a janitor, the last thing you want is for that freaking ghost old woman to pop up and grab you on the spot. Not pleasant. Not pleasant at all. Sneaking here. Don't know if he's even gonna freaking come all this way or not. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Because if you like stop running and start walking, he'll throw off his pattern. Like he won't be able to detect you as easily if like he's lost sight of you. Trouble with these toilets here compared to the ones in the other building is you can't really see under them properly. And he's clearly not in the room with us, but he's clearly outside. So, yeah, that's a bit a pain in the arse. Hopefully he's fucked off. Oh, he's gone back in there. He didn't even check then. That's all, I guess. Because if you see a door closed that was open, you know that he's went in that general direction. Anyway, let's save the game. Call it a day. Yeah, right here. 10 for the 9th. Oh, 10 days to go then. Since last recorded. That'll do. That'll do. So see you next time, viewers, for when we unfortunately have to resolve the issue with the girl in the music appreciation room, which will lead to us getting kind of screwed with the whole not being able to despawn the janitor. But whatever. Do that in the next part, and I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.